Hi everyone. Today we have a publisher interview and I would really like to introduce you to Sharon from Paris, chez Sharon, who's been one of our great publishers so far to join Public. And so today we're going to have a quick chat with Sharon about her experiences on Public and in general. So thanks so much for joining us today, Sharon. Do you want to give a bit of an intro about yourself and where you've come from?
Sure, Carl. Bonjour from Paris. I'm so happy to speak to you all. Actually, in the origin, I'm from Israel. And I arrived to Paris about 10 years ago with a suitcase and a dream. My dream was researching all the field of pastry and chocolate, actually the French pastry world, which is very known in the foodies community. And 10 years ago, nobody actually written about it. It was very inside France, very inside Paris. Instagram was very low. Facebook just began. It was something that nobody out of Paris really spoke about. All the tourists knew Fauchon, La Durée. You have to drink a hot chocolate in Angelina. But it was only like you go to Berlin and you know I don't know, called the Cas de Verre or something like this. You have like very small information about this amazing world. And then I realized that this world is so sophisticated and deep. And you have a lot of, it's like fashion. Actually, it's like fashion. So I started writing about it, a blog, and it was in Hebrew.
But were you in Israel at the time or you already moved to Paris permanently?
So it's a good question because at the beginning, I was like, I was working in Israel for the Prime Minister office, and I was like having my first degree in psychology and my second degree in law, and I was like very in a formal work, and I baked for my passion. And then I was traveling to Paris every few months to take a short course in the Cordon Bleu, to see a chocolate expo or something like this. And then when I came back, I wrote about it. So the blog started a little bit before I passed to Paris. I moved to Paris. And actually, one of the reasons I came to Paris is my blog, because I realized that I can't continue producing good content about Paris if I'm in Israel. So the love to the baking world, the love to Paris, the willing to be free from this formal job. I decided to quit after 8 years. And 10.5 years ago, I took a suitcase and came to Paris. At the beginning, it was not easy because I had to, present myself to the chefs, and it was very closed. As I said, all the Facebook, Instagram was not so known, and in France, it's very, very new, all this world. Like in Israel, we had a lot of Facebook, Instagram, and here it was lower. Now it's better, but I should have, I opened some pastry chef Facebook pages. It's crazy because today everybody has it, but it was very different. And I started to explain them that people in Israel we are very curious. We want to know the world, and I want to present them to the Israeli audience. And they didn't understand, because when you eat something, you eat near your home. You don't eat something from Paris in Israel. I speak about pastry and croissant and baguette. You don't take it to Israel, And they didn't understand what do I want from them. But it's like I knew what will be in the future. I don't know how, but I felt it's something that's going to be a real buzz. So I started writing about it in my blog in Hebrew. And I had 7 followers, my mom, my brother, some friends. And then it became like a huge buzz in Israel about this pastry world. And I started to write to a lot of magazines and journals. And I had my book, which is the first guide in Hebrew for the best pastry shops in Paris. And then people started contacting me to come with me to the places I go. It's like they wanted me to take them to culinary tours. And then I realized this is the thing I have to do, because it's like being all the day in the streets of Paris with the sweet things, with people that, you know, I love. And I started doing the culinary tours, and I started developing the Instagram and the blog. And today, actually, I have more than 500,000 people following me from all over the world. As you know, Carl, in more than 200 countries, which is crazy.
It's amazing, yeah.
And this is the reason I started writing in English, because a lot of people will come to the blog via the Instagram, and they saw Hebrew, and Hebrew is not a common language in the world. So I decided I have to write in English. And actually, public also give me a push to continue the English. We'll speak about it later. And then it's like I met something personal, which I have to say. I met my wife via a culinary tour. She came, Gali, she came to a culinary tourism in Paris. She worked in Israel as a CEO, and she was in a business trip. And she made a connection in Paris. She took a tour, and this is my longest tour.
So it's worth the move.
Together.
And so when you moved to Paris, did you speak any French actually before moving, or you had to learn while in France?
So actually, I learned in high school, I learned French. I'm not coming from a family of French speakers or something like this. And as you know, when you learn, I don't know if you learned a second language, but if you don't speak it, you forget it.
Yeah.
So I forgot, but I have to say that it gave me the base to communicate. And in France, it's very important, because you feel like handicapped. If you don't speak French, it's very, very, very difficult. Like in Germany, you can speak English and it will be okay. Lots of people understand and speak. But in France, not so much. Today, maybe more. But it was like a good base. And then I started to speak and develop my language. But I think if you come to Paris, you have to be aware of the fact that you have to assimilate to the culture.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so maybe you want to tell us a bit about sort of where your fans come from. So you talked about your Instagram having a mass amount of followers, 500,000 plus, which is incredible.
522, which is...
sorry, 522,000 now. It's growing by the day, it seems like.
Yes.
Maybe you want to tell us a bit about how you got all those followers and where they're all from. You mentioned previously from all around the world.
So it's a very good question, because today I think one of the most important place for content producers or publishers is Instagram, because Instagram is something that is very wide in the age range. You know that today young people want to go to Facebook, and older people want to go to TikTok. So today I think Instagram is a very wide with the ages, you know, because you have young people and you have older people. And actually at the beginning, my Instagram was very, you know, like a simple Instagram with some photos I posted. And then I realized that I have something that most of the people don't have. And this is the carte blanche, we say in French. It's like the VIP entrance to all the pastry chefs lab in Paris, which is very interesting, because those labs are closed. You can't see it. It's like, it's not that they hide something, but it's very private, it's closed. It's sometimes can be dangerous to be with all the machines and everything. So I had.
How did you get in there then? How was your way in?
I had the connection because I built some very good connection with the pastry chefs. And one day I made a video from the chocolate salon in Paris, and Insider found this video, and they asked me if they can share it. I said, sure. This video got 53 million views all over the world. And this was the beginning of my blooming on Instagram, because Insider is a very wide, channel with a lot of followers from all over the world. And I got a lot of followers after it. And then I realized that people want to see more than a photo. They want to see the procedure, the backstage, how do you do things? And nobody made those videos before me. Today, a lot of people do it, and also the pastry chefs understand that they have to do some videos. But people tell me that when they see a video, they know this is mine, because I have my, my personal signature
Your style, yeah.
Of editing, of taking, of shooting. So I think that my followers started to bloom after this first video, and then I made more and more videos. And the most important thing I think that those videos were shared by a lot of big channels.
So maybe you want to tell us a bit about some of the challenges in the industry. So you've mentioned a lot about Instagram already. Like, what were some of the challenges when you started today, and what you see as maybe some of the challenges going forward?
So at the first, my challenge was, my world is the pastry and the patisserie in French. And the challenge was that people will know me, it was finding the right places and things to write about, and then to people to read it, because you can make a beautiful content, but if nobody reads it or see it, it's I don't know. There are people who write and they leave it in the house. They don't want people to read it. But if you're a publisher, you want people to read or to see your pictures, or I don't know. So the beginning was, the challenge was creating the content, to find people that will trust me, that I will write good things, or not good, but quality things, like a high quality writing, or a high quality videos or photos. And it's a completely different challenge than now. Now the challenge, I think it's bigger. It's maintenance, it's like maintaining the good content. It's creating more and more content, because when you have a lot of followers, they want the content. They are there to see more and more things. So there are more people and more pressure in order to create more, content.
And yeah, a lot more competition, right? So you really have to do it.
At the beginning, as I said, I was the only one writing about the French pastry world, and the only one making videos. And today, a lot of people realize that it's a good thing to write about, or to make photos, or to make videos, and they do it as well. But the most important is to be the first. You have to remember it. And it's very important. I say it not for, to laugh or something, because when you create something and you publish something, you have to be a little bit different than others. This is very important, because when you decide to be a publisher, you have to choose something that will be a little bit different than the others. Why should people come to your site to see? It can be the graphic design, it could be the graphic language, it can be like your style of writing or taking photos, and it could be a completely unique subject, but it should be a little bit different than others. So it's, for me, the challenge for the future is continuing with the quality content, the content in high quality. And now I have also public. We will speak about it, but it's a new challenge for me. And this challenge is interesting because it's causing me, investing more in the content, which the two of them, public and the content, now they have bigger place in my life.
So maybe you want to tell us a little bit about some of the challenges in the industry, especially pre-COVID and now during COVID, and hopefully we get past that. How's that been for you as a business?
So before COVID, actually, the main business was the culinary tours. We used to take people to taste all the good things in Paris. And this is where, like, this was the main business, because actually my blog, which is very known in Israel and now in the world, it's without advertising. Actually, I don't put advertising, not Google advertising. I'm very picky in collaborations for money. So I know it's rare, but actually it's giving me the opportunity to be very authentic.
And pure, yeah.
Because when your business is not the blog, your business is the tours, you have to be very authentic, because people trust you that you will take them to the best places, not because they give you money or you advertise them or something like this. So it's very important to understand why I didn't put advertising. Until today, I don't use advertising.
And with the Paris lockdowns, then that's obviously cut all of that off. So
yes,
how's it been during this whole time?
In one day, Carl, everything stopped. Imagine that. All our business stopped, like a lot of tourism business, and we had cancellations of all the tours and even refunding a lot of money. And then we were shocked, like all the world. And then after a few months, we decided to do the virtual tours. Actually, the tours before COVID, we had like private tours with 2 people, 1 family, 3 people that know each other, not groups. And then in the COVID, we had to change strategy, and we made virtual tours with 2,000 people in one tour. Okay, we used Facebook Live, which is the best platform for cellular, because like Zoom and Teams and everything, it's not good for the outside. So we used Facebook Live, and people were like giving tips. And it was amazing, because we like our community became bigger and bigger. Lots of people came to the tours. A lot of articles and TV shows spoke, and you know, and TV channels spoke about the tours, and we had like blooming with the tours. And then we met Public. So
yeah,
it's like,
so you met Public. It's a full circle, basically.
yes.
So maybe you want to talk to us a bit about your first experiences of Public and what is Public to you, and especially how you've already incorporated it in your business model, which you've done super fast and super successfully.
Yes. So one day, a friend of mine introduced me Public, and I was like saying, okay, yes, it's too good to be true. I didn't think it's a scam, because it's my friend and I trust him, and he told me that, you know, I can trust him and everything. But it was strange, because I'm used to get money only for advertising or for collaboration, paid collaboration. And I think most of the publishers, they are not used to get a reward for content. So the idea was amazing, but it sounds like Disneyland. So I decided to try. Why not? I'm at home. I'm without my tours now, and it was like falling from the sky. So I decided to do it. And actually, I started putting links of Public in my Instagram bio, in swipe up on stories, on Facebook, on newsletters. And like, I think after 1 week, we understood, it's like you, me, Gali, we understood that it works, because you know,
you've gone through the process now.
Yes, because at the beginning, really, I have to tell the truth, and I'm sure a lot of people will tell to themselves. Maybe they're not comfortable to say it out loud, but it's like, you don't believe it, because it's like I didn't get money for content. Yes, when I wrote to journals or magazine or something, for sure, but what I mean is, like, you don't get money from Google, you don't get money from I know, Firefox or something like this. So really, the idea is that I began to to put my links on public, and every time I put a link, I try to do it via public. But it's not only the idea that people will enter my public. The idea is to make the community in public bigger, because this is the most important idea for the future. Because I believe in this product. I believe that people should decide what they want to see, which content they love, which content they want to follow. It's a little bit like following hashtags or things like that, and then you choose what you want to see. And for sure, the benefit for me is amazing, because it's really the same idea. Without advertising, I can get money for my content without advertising. It's, for me, it's really, really interesting.
So has it now encouraged you, or are you writing now more content about the things that you want to write about, because you have the option of doing it through this method?
So it's a very good question, because actually, as I said before, the strategy was, this is the main business and the blog support it. And now it's a little bit, the blog is here, because the blog now, without the tours, is the main things. All the people come to the blog, they don't come to the tours. So it was like combining very well together the time that the blog is the main issue and the public. So public push me. I have to tell the truth, like the 2 last months are the most viewed month of my blog, okay? Because I make a lot of content, because I push it, because I put the links all over. So yes, the public also gave me, the energy to produce more content.
That's really good, because I think what we hear from a lot of publishers, is that, they are pushing a lot of content, and, with more people doing that, you're going to start to build a community around that and essentially support one another.
Yes,
so,
yes, and the idea is support one another. This is the idea. I actually, sometimes I enter public. I love pastry and chocolate, as you know. And so I'm looking for, I look at the recipes, I enter some posts, and I think it's interesting, also to support each other, not only to wait to enter your links, also to enter other links.
Yeah, that's really good. And maybe, do you want to tell us about your experience with the whole cryptocurrency element? So the public tokens.
Yes.
At the start, your knowledge probably was a lot less than it is now. So maybe tell us about that experience for you.
So I have to tell something important, and I told it to you privately, even if I won't get money from public, for example, for me, it's a very good lesson, all the crypto world, because I'm very up to date. I'm reading a lot about crypto and, all the world of economic, but this world, I was very afraid from this world, because it's like blockchain. For me, it's blackchain. It's like, it's a black hole. I don't understand in it.
Yeah.
And then when I read about the Ethereum and the public and everything, I started to read more and more about it. Like, I have friends sending me articles. Look, the Ethereum is up, the Bitcoin is up. It's not only for the price. It's also to understand this world of digital coins, and to understand that it's like becoming mainstream, something that people are afraid from. I think that like 3 years ago, if you speak about Bitcoin, most of the people will think it's like criminals or something. And now people say, why didn't I buy Bitcoin? Why I bought pizza with the Bitcoin?
That's true. That was actually the world's most expensive pizza. I think it was $50 million. So
he paid 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza.
So it's even more than, So maybe you want to talk to us a bit about the future of food blogging and publishing, and in particular for yourself, like what does the future look like, especially as we're still in this COVID world, with lockdowns all in Europe for the moment anyway.
So actually, for now, we are at home. So I have to continue producing content for the blog. I think the future of the food will be amazing because people, more and more people are interested in food blogging. And you have to understand that the COVID made people cooking at home, baking at home. So I think the blooming of the world of food content will grow and grow. And for me, it's great because for now I'm creating a lot of content. And of course, my fans from all over the world, when they enter my blog now, the majority of them, they enter via public. So actually they're getting used to it. And I think I didn't hear, a lot of people, when you change something in your a blog or you put a different link, a lot of people ask you. And actually, it's like it was very natural for them when I put the link to public. It's very natural, and a lot of people like get used to it, and the community become bigger and bigger. And for me, this is one of the challenges for the future, to make my followers understand that they should follow my publisher page on public, and they should sign up to public, because actually for me, all my content in the future will come via public. So I'm like, my idea is to produce some videos on Instagram stories and writing about it on the newsletter, just explaining what is it, and inviting people to public, because it's not only me there, it's tons of publishers, and I'm really like, I presented public to a lot of publishers, and I will keep doing it because we support each other. So for me, the idea is to build up a community of publishers, but also of readers. So, publisher is also a reader, and a reader can be publisher. So it's all together.
Everyone has their role in the ecosystem, and you can play multiple roles for that matter.
And also my readers, they can, they can earn also on
by
public.
categorizing. Exactly right.
So if they want, it's not, you don't have to, but you can.
So finally, I have to ask you about, I think you've mentioned a lot, but your favorite parts of your job, and importantly, what is your all-time favorite recipe?
So my favorite part of my job, actually, the tourist is the wow for me. Meeting people, going to the best places with them, and also taking videos with the chef, because I'm like exceptionally in the labs, and I see all the technique to see them. It's like fashion designer. It's amazing. And for me, meeting people and seeing how they, get high from the sugar and the chocolate, it's the most amazing. And producing the videos. I think that the recipe or the dessert that I love the most, I told you from my blog, is the chocolate fondant, which is terribly dangerous, because I can eat it without stopping. It's actually in French, the name is mi-cuit, which is half baked. Okay. As you can see, it's like a lava cake, You open it with the spoon and everything melts, and it's so good. And this is one of the first links in my public.
So Sharon, thank you again for taking the time to share your story. Amazing move, really, from Israel to Paris with nothing with you, basically, and your whole journey. And, I'm looking forward to, as you told me, that I can come visit you at some point in time for some desserts. So when this whole lockdown eases,
we will eat a lot of chocolate together, and a lot of desserts.
A lot of chocolate. That sounds good. So thank you again for sharing your story. And thanks once again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.